Have you thought about Advil or Tylenol? I was glad the nurse had already taken my blood pressure, because I imagined it rising every time he opened his mouth. The deep breaths I took didn't help. "Look at me," I said. "I'm sorry?" "Quit typing and look at me." He did, mouth hanging open, green eyes wide with confusion, as if he didn't know what to do with a patient who was going so far off the script. Didn't they cover that in med school? Wasn't there a handout or something? I let him stew in the awkwardness a few seconds before I spoke. "I'm only here because my old pain management specialist moved to Idaho, and the HMO said I have to start from scratch." He didn't answer. I don't think he knew what to say. Across the room, I heard my partner's ringtone sound from the cell phone in my coat pocket. She knew where I was. It could only mean one thing. "Look," I said, "I know you're just trying to do your job and all, but you need to understand something. The things that I've seen, that I've experienced, have taught me more about pain than you'll ever know. That beep you just heard means someone's dead, and I'm all out of time to sit here and chat with you. Either write me the fucking prescription or refer me to the new pain management doctor." He did both. As soon as I was in the hallway, I speed-dialed my partner, Jennifer Tanaka. We were next up in the case rotation, so she'd stayed behind at the homicide detail squad room downtown while I came to my appointment. "What's up?" I asked. "I hope you're ready to get back in the saddle." I'd only returned 3 weeks before from a year-long medical leave, and the first cases we'd caught had all been rubber stamps: a murder-suicide, an out-of-control husband and his unfortunate wife, and a convenience store robbery in which the clerk and the 14-year-old gangbanger trying to rob him both wound up dead. They all required the reams of paperwork inherent in any homicide investigation, but little more. "Something interesting?" "Yeah, it's bad. Mother, 2 kids, Bixby Knolls. Looks like a home invasion. I'm on my way now." There was a waver in her voice I couldn't remember ever hearing before. I wrote the address in my notebook and told her I'd meet her there. They used to call Bixby Knolls Uptown. They don't so much anymore, but its Los Cerritos neighborhood is still one of the oldest in the old money sections of Long Beach. While most of the city has grown denser and taller with cutting-edge architecture and designs to meet the ever-increasing upmarket demands of gentrification, Bixby Knolls is still the place to go for a traditional starter mansion with half an acre to call its own. Bordered by the concrete flow of the Los Angeles River on the west and hemmed in by the 405 freeway on the south and the Virginia Country Club on the north, it's a quiet neighborhood, still clinging to the notion that ostentatious bragging about wealth is just plain bad form. The homes there are luxurious enough that they never took the hit the rest of the real estate market did. The prices start at just under $2 million. Driving up Pacific, I watched the neighborhoods grow more expensive and expansive with each passing block. It doesn't take long after the street passes under the San Diego freeway to reach those 7-figure price tags. It turned out I didn't even need to check the address. By the time I got there were already 3 cruisers, 2 unmarked cars, and the crime scene details van. Something was off. There was way too much activity for such an early stage of the investigation. I parked my Camry across the street in the shade of a 100-year-old oak and got out. Half a dozen uniforms were hanging around the sidewalk in front of the house. I knew most of the names and faces, but nobody spoke. Just a few nodding heads. The house was a large colonial-style 2-story, white with very well-tended landscaping and a sprawling lawn at least 15 yards deep, bisected by a stone pathway. As I was walking up, Jen came out of the front door and met me halfway. "What's up with the crowd?" She didn't answer. That surprised me. I softened my tone and said, "What's inside?" Her eyes narrowed and her jaw tightened. She'd taken her coat off and wore a sleeveless black silk blouse. There was an uncharacteristic tightness in her back and shoulders as she ran a hand through her spiky black hair. "Don't know yet. Just had a quick look at the bodies. Then I saw you pull up."